maybe you're in front end trying to learn back end, or you're in back end trying to learn mobile, or you're in design trying to move to PM, or you're in data analysis trying to learn data science, right? So you might have so much experience, and then some things might be easy for you to grasp, right? That's good for you. But there are other people in the class that may also have issues trying to understand what you consider to be basic. Right? We expect that you respect their learning process and be patient with everybody. We try to structure our curriculum to be beginner friendly. Now we also know that not everybody in the class are beginners. However, we expect and I would also demand we expect of every learner that you respect every other person. You might be a faster you might also be a beginner but a faster learner. Or some other person might be a beginner as yourself, but a slower learner. So if the instructor is patient enough to train them or to teach them until they get it, you as the learner should also be patient enough to carry them. Now, this also means that you do not need to leave the bulk of the work on instructors or the community managers. That's where collaborative and supportiveness start coming into play. Right? So you help them. If you see that a community person is struggling to understand, right, reach out to them and then see how you can be of help and support to them. So that way, you know that you're not just receiving, you're also giving back, which is what we usually recommend. And try not to harass anybody or exhibit an inappropriate behavior, because that can mean that you are automatically taken out of the entire program, right? Which is why, okay, let me just say that. That can mean you can take it out of the entire program, and then you must commit to learning. Is very important. And then the study tribe, I think I already talked about that, how we're going to pay you. That will be done in the course of the trainings. Not this week, I think from next week, in the course of the trainings. And then you get to meet your other study tribes. So we have partners. We're not doing this alone. From time to time, we get to meet some of our partners. We have, first of all, we have our instructors. They are one of our major partners. Everybody that is teaching, taking their time. Right? Like I mentioned, all of our instructors have a full-time job. Right? They are working somewhere. So we have somebody that works with someone working both foreign and Nigerian organizations. I don't just want to start calling names. Right? So they take their time out of their busy work schedule to also see how they can give back. So they are one of our major partners. We have GetLinks, so we're partnering with the talent pool part. We have other partnering organizations where we hope that everybody that passes through our training will be able to get internship placement. So we partner with some organizations. We're trying to open more partnerships, to be sure that we're able to absorb more students for the to have internship placement, so they can have a real work experience. Sorry, my time is overspent already. And then our bootcamp, I already talked about it. Our bootcamp is a hands-on training. I already talked about that you qualify for after the training period. After the training period is 7 to 3. Now move into the bootcamp session. So you do your capstone project, you defend your capstone project, then you now move into the bootcamp session. So that's where you now be paired into teams. We usually have up to 10 teams. You paired into teams to be the solution for a real world problem. And so that is also what one thing that you're doing. So what next? Right. So first, before I take this, I think it's keep my mind to mention that the LMS is invite only. So you almost cannot just log in. Right. So after today or from today, some of you start having some of you start having invites into your LMS. So the invite will come with your email, which you use in signing up and taking the assessment, and then your password. So upon logging in, you will be prompted to change your password, update your password to what you alone can use or what you can only remember, because the password will come in strings, in long strings. So you are able to change it to what you feel comfortable with, and that's what will be easy to access the LMS. I think I didn't mention that earlier. I just want to say that. And so what next? So how do you prepare for your first session? Right, so your first session, I had mentioned, would happen from tomorrow, where you get to meet your instructors and then they'll get to guide you on certain things. you'll be exposed to the curriculum that we use. So you can. So once you're exposed to the curriculum, I would recommend that you compare it with curriculum out there. You see that because it's free doesn't mean that it will be substandard. Because it doesn't mean that it will be substandard. It's up to standard. I can always say that anyway. Right? So you could compare that. You could look at that, and then prepare for your session. The session will be communicated to you respectively. And then channels for communication is Slack. So you just take into your Slack and our WhatsApp channel, right? Because communication will be done there, and then conversation will also happen there. You get to meet your community managers as well that will be guiding you, and then be like the bridge between you and the instructors, right? Helping to disseminate this information better. And then just links, materials for review. And I think in one of the earlier meet that was sent, it was already stated that you could look up so before your class starts officially, you could always go to our YouTube channel, Dive Africa on YouTube, look at some of the resources that we posted there from our last cohort. So just give you an idea. It just preps your mind on preparing before the actual class started. Right. So I'll take question next, but I think one of the few things that you might want to ask is I think there's one recurring question that we usually have. It wasn't added to the slides. Mr. Osman, please, can you mute your mic, please? Mr. Osman, please, can you mute your mic?
What is try asking details?
Usman Abola, please, can you mute your mic, please? So I'll proceed. So one of the recurring questions we usually get is the entire training free? That's one very recurring question we usually have. Is it free? Can you be giving all of these so much value for free? The answer is sounding yes. I mean, if you were part of our last course, that we would see that we would know that at no point did we ask anybody for any money, right? From the training to the bootcamp sessions. If there anybody that was part of the last course could attest to that, put on the live chat. At no point we asked for any money. We want this certificate to everybody. That is Usman, can you please mute your mic, please? And everybody is trying Mr. Usman, can you please
Usman, please mute your mic.
Mr. Zemi, can you please mute this guy? Okay, so Mr. Zemi, please can you mute this guy? I don't know why.
Move to your mic now.
Okay, so sorry, I'll just proceed.
Oh, can't be muted. Don't disturb me. It's fine.
Like I was saying, the entire training is free, and we intend to keep it that way, right? However, we're still at this point to do, right? Which is why we have partners and thank you. Out of the resources of organizers, I'm very honest because it's not cheap and it is not easy. But however, we know that the impact that this is more than
And our license is
look at it from the level of impact. Osman, please mute your mic.
Mr. Usman, please mute your mic now.
Sir, please, why don't you just take him off? There's no need of you shouting. Just take him off.
I can't be
So the recording of every class will be every session will be available live. Sorry, I'm because they are closed. My apologies. Because you hear noise on my background. So The recording of every session we provide on YouTube, right? In case you happen to miss any session, right? So let's say you have a class happening for 6 to 7, because usually our live sessions are like 2 hours. I mean, usually sometimes it's lesser than 2 hours. Sometimes the class can be so interactive it's more than 2 hours. But we break it up 2 hours. Sometimes I can go for like 45 minutes, an hour 15 minutes, right? But each of those sessions, the recording, we try to make the recording available because we know that for people that live in Lagos, I understand that Lagos can be very hectic for you guys in Lagos. You can be in traffic while classes are happening, you're tired, you're stressed out, or sometimes you might just sleep off, right? And then we understand that happens. So we try to make those classes available live, recorded, and then they are posted on our YouTube channel, so you can always rewatch. However, please note that part of the graduation requirement for even qualifying to the bootcamp and eventually graduating is that you must have made 75% class attendance. Right? I didn't to mention that. I need to emphasize on that again. Right? And then, so if you miss a class, the recording will be made available. Right? You could miss assignment submission, but try not to miss assignment submission because sometimes the grace period does not cover for you. And then in this case, if you miss too many assignment submission, the system will automatically take you out. So it is not what a human will do anymore, right? If you submit as a last cohort, you have to be interfering with humans. So sometimes the instructors can just plead for, maybe say, okay, give them an extension, something of that, because we have too many. And instructors last cohort were too soft, right? So they might say, okay, please give them 1 extra day, give them 2 extra days. Right? So this time around, that will not be happening because for those reasons we had it too extended. Right? So this time around, if you miss, you're automatically taken off the system automatically. So you're also not interfering with humans. It's the system you're interfering with. So try not to miss assignment submission. And then how do you get extra support if you're stopped? Right? So we had mentioned about the tribe. So you get support from your co-learners. We have committee managers that can always reach out to. You will get to meet your committee manager as we proceed into the training. So you can only reach out to them. They will help you reach out to the instructors. And then sometimes you can speak to the instructor directly, but we do not recommend that because they're usually very busy at work. So you don't interfere with their day, right? If they make time available for you to reach out to them, please try and reach out to them. Please do reach out to them. Some of them will tell you that, okay, if you have any concerns, speak to me on this particular day at this particular time. If they do that, you can also speak to them. But try not to bug them with too many DMs and too many questions because they are humans like you and they have a full-time role in the case of work, right? So you can reach out to them. However, if it's something that is admin related, say maybe at the end of the bootcamp, at the end of the training, after the course, you see that people have moved to bootcamp, you're not qualified for the bootcamp, or you're taking off the system, but you have any admin related concern, you always send a mail to admin@direfhk.org, and then someone will attend to you, right? So how do I support this movement, right? So, like I mentioned earlier, Dive is free. It has always been free from the onset. And it's still free now. We intend to keep it free. However, it's not cheap. And if you intend to support, then once you have access to your dashboard, to your LMS, you see a place where we say you could donate. So if you decide that, okay, you're receiving too many value, you want to donate, you can always donate 1,000 naira, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 1 million. So pleases your heart, right? We have a lot of persons that were around during the last cohorts. That may be around, let's say, maybe you did data last cohort, you felt like, okay, you had too much impact, and you even had an internship placement, right? And then you're here for data science, and then you just want to support, it's fine, we would appreciate it. I would be grateful. You can always support, you can always donate. However it pleases, we do not mandate it, we do not say, we're not asking that you must donate to take classes or to move into bootcamp. We don't do that. We're not doing the training for free, but you have to pay for bootcamp, you pay for certificate. No, we're not doing any of that. We're only saying that if you feel like at some point that you have received so much value for free and you intend to want to give back, you can always donate. You get to hear from time to time, you sit on your dashboard, once in a while you just pop up, another time, so we'll share a pista clinic. If you want to, you could just support so that some of the costs, some of the weight of the cost can also be lifted as well. But however, it is free and it will remain free. I need to also emphasize that at no point will be anybody will manage to pay any amount of money at all for any reason at all. Everything is already been covered for. But you can always try to say how you support to also appreciate the instructors and cover some other costs. Yeah, so I think that will bring me to the end of my slide. So you need to learn, grow, and then transform. So yeah, so at this point, my apologies first. I think I overshot by about almost 20 minutes. I was trying to be as fast as possible. So I think that brings me to the end of my slide. I will take questions. But let me see if anybody dropped any question on the chat box. And then I think I'll start from that side. But however, if you have questions, you can just raise up your hand. I'll call according to the queue I see. And then let me just see if I can see some questions on the chat box. So someone said they weren't hearing me. I hope you did hear me. So I think I have a question here.